Peace. In the name of Allah, I'm Aubrey Muhammad. I pray that everyone is well. Hempstead family, friends, and believers, welcome to my live session, Cooking with Brother Aubrey. Today's menu is going to be double grilled cheese sandwich. It's going to be good. And the subject today is the gentrification of Hempstead, the displacement of Stop and Shop employees and their replacement. All right, let me get going real fast with this double grilled cheese. Let me put the camera this way. I hope y'all Sunday is going well. I'm a little late today. That's good. That's good right there. You know, it's a nice Sunday though, and I'm glad y'all can come. Now I got to put a little bit more back, show myself a little. Yeah, this is the double grilled cheese. They say, why double grill, brother? Because normally you take your toast and you your two slices of bread, you put the cheese in the middle, and you take some butter, you put it on a griddle, you griddle one side, you flip it on the other side, do the other. That's not what we're doing. Today we're going to lightly toast each side. We're going to toast the insides of these rolls. Lightly toast the insides. Then we're going to, as that's going, I'm going to griddle the cheese. I got some cheddar cheese. I'm not going to use all this. There's a little more than I'm going to use. This is one sandwich. It's a small round sandwich. And this is the mozzarella. Traditionally, people use American cheese. I don't like American cheese. Most of that stuff is soybean based. And it's a little butter. I'm going to do the oiling with of that griddle. Now the seasoning, just salt, pepper, and a little red flake pepper. That's it. A tiny dash of red flake pepper. That's it. Nothing else. Grilled cheese is grilled cheese. It hardly needs anything. So let me get to this grilled cheese. Now the insides. Now this could be the inside, and this could be the inside. Good. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Good. Right there. Now this I'm not putting any butter down. This is I don't like this griddle. Everything in here is cast iron. These iron tops, grills over that fire, they're cast iron. I have a few cast iron cooking things. This is aluminum with nonstick coat. You can get a cast iron. I would, but we're moving. You know what I'm saying? Mom's moving. So I just lightly toast that on the nonstick aluminum, but the cast iron is a lot better. And it infuses much flavor into it. Seasoned cast iron, it's awesome flavor. Let me know how the sound is going too, y'all. If this sound is going well. And what I'm going to do, I'm just take a little salt and pepper. And I'm fasting today. I'm fasting from food. No solid food, no salt. And for 48 hours. Do the 48-hour fast a lot. No food. No solid food. Just water, coffee, or tea. The tea, don't put no sugar or nothing in it. Some people don't agree with tea. Just a little black pepper. Now, water and coffee is the best thing to fast on. Actually, I'm drinking, this is some of my coffee, fermented tea. It's cold. It's fermented. This is not a refreshment drink. It's a health drink. It's fermented tea. This is good for the digestion. Kombucha. But this is the Jun version. We use green tea and the honey. Now, it does ferment. They say, well, fermentation makes alcohol. Doesn't it? No, it's a sweet spot in between the sugariness, the alcohol, and the vinegar. If you let it go to the right sweet spot a couple of days with Jun, perfect. It keeps going. It turns into like a champagne type alcohol. And if you keep going after that, letting it store, it goes in vinegar. So timing is everything. Take a sip. Good. That's coffee bean infused Jun. Take a little of my black pepper flake. Just a little, a touch of this. Just a touch. Grilled cheese don't need nothing, but this is cheddar and mozzarella. Just a tad. I'm not using all that cheese anyway. Hope your Sunday is going well. It's nice weather out here. Oh yeah, this is toasting already. Look at that. Yeah, this is toasting. Just a lightly toast. Then we take our cheeses. Now because this is, this hardly sticks. This is the cheddar. Take my cheddar and some I'm just doing a little now to show y'all. You can put as much cheese as you want, but if you pile it on, it's going to drip more, okay? Because I don't want to flame on. I don't want to turn on. I don't want to flame high to turn on the exhaust fan. You won't be able to hear me. But listen to this vent fan. That's high. You can hear me, but that's annoying. You know what I'm saying? It may be low. If stuff starts smoking, let me get to this. Because this is melting fast. That's what it's supposed to do. Disco, mozzarella, and that's what it's supposed to do. I like a lot of mozzarella. Now I take this. This cheddar and mozzarella is not going to stick because it's real cheese. You know what I'm saying? It's real cheese. So let that blend together. This is a double grill. Look at all the oil. Y'all can see that. Look at all the oil coming out that cheese. That's a cheese. This is kebab cheese. That's kosher halal cheese. And that one side, it was lightly toasted and good. It's already lightly toasted. And your rolls can be, let that mix up nice. And lightly toast, lightly grill the cheese, okay? You know who does cheese like this? Dominican cheese. My father, Sonny, may Allah be pleased with him. He used to griddle Dominican cheese. I don't know the ingredients on it though. Yeah, let that melt up. This is good. This is good. This is bubbling. This is grilling itself because when you do the traditional grilled cheese, the cheese just melts on the inside. And the toasty, buttery flavor is on the outside. And that's usually American cheese, but this is low cheese. Remember, this is like a non-stick aluminum base because I put the magnet to it. It didn't stick. Steel and cast iron because I have an induction plate. And when I'm on the induction plate, steel, okay, this is ready. Steel and cast iron is magnetized. That's why it works on induction, magnetic induction. Okay, now we take the cheese and I'm going to put it on one of the toasted sides, the bigger toasted side. That's toasted already, lightly toasted. And I didn't butter it, okay? You know what I'm saying? We'll take this cheese, fold it up, put that right over there. It's a little sloppy, but it comes apart. Take this cheese. Now, the fact is so much oil, natural oil in this cheese. Yeah, this is a very lightly. Now spread it around nice and evenly. There's so much oil in these natural cheeses. You could cook. You could cook food. Now, this is a kebab halal kosher cheese. Look at that. And that grill, the flavor in that is just awesome. Matter of fact, I am going to cook it in that. I'm going to cook it in this. Now, if cheese goes on the side, it's going to burn. I'm going to cook this in a little bit of this oil. And I'll start the other one on low butter. This one goes on top right now. I didn't even have to use butter. I'm going to use butter on the other side because so much oil. Look at all the oil that came out. Let me switch that around, let it soak in a little oil. This is, what type of roll is this? Yeah, this is I think it's a Bosch roll. Yeah, it's a more low dense bread. It's not a regular roll. It's not the Kaiser roll. It's real airy, light. You can use any bread you want. Slices of bread. You have to test the temperature. You have to test the, this is cooking quick. Yeah, and it's on low. This is as low as this thing could go. This is cooking, and you notice the cheese is staying there. The cheese toasted a little. The cheese had a little flavor in itself. Taking that cheddar and the mozzarella, hitting it on a griddle, gave the cheese a little toastiness itself. And then I'm going to put just a little butter on the other side and toast the other side. Let me put the cheese cover on it. The cheese melt. That's going to take not even a minute. Good. And I hope your Sunday is well. Because it ain't well in Hempstead. You know what I'm saying? And Hempstead is facing gentrification. This is not new. They've been planning this since 2012. And they're going to redo the entire downtown, 300-acre downtown, from 303 Metro North Plaza. You can imagine this area down through the car lots, the car lots, right, to sell the cars. Honda and all the Mitsubishi, I think Toyota is still there. All the way to the edge of Terrace, going down Terrace. They going that all the way downtown towards the high school, towards Peninsula Boulevard, towards the high school, to High Street. Back down towards the other end of the village, towards the Prospect School. And if you notice, what did they build next to Prospect School? A storage facility. That's because they want you to store your stuff. And it's beautiful too, isn't it? It looks nice and luxurious. That's because you're losing your home. So you're going to need a place to store your stuff. All the way to the U-Haul. The U-Haul going up down Fulton, back up towards Main. All of that is being demolished and redone to the liking of the developers, however they like it. It's not going to be our decision. It's going to be their decision. And we are cooked, y'all, harder. Oh, let me get the butter ready. We are cooked harder than this grilled cheese sandwich. It doesn't even need that much butter because look at that. It didn't even start melting yet. Yeah, that's a little butter. That's like 2/3 of a teaspoon. They're good. It's good for flavor. And that butter flavor, well, you know what that is, grilled cheese. And now, look at that. There you go. One side is toasted light. And I'm going to do it again. But let that go in there to stay moist. And I put the cheese melt on there to hold the moisture in there. Because if you do that to open grilled cheese, it sort of like gets hard. You know, the crustiness is hard. Now let it sit there. And this is on low. If I wasn't filming and talking to show what I'm doing, I would have that like on maybe 3.5 to get this done in a minute. It would have been done. I've been throwing down with this. I throw down with these, the quick pizzas and the grilled cheese. And I do them because I'm doing them now because I'm on the live. When I film on other cameras and stuff in a high definition, I take my time. I do recipes because I have everything boiling and I have this on. This loud vent fan, and I'll do voiceover, so I don't want to, I want to talk to y'all, so I don't have that going. That's why I'm doing these simple things. And this is almost done. Then it's going to turn over, and I'm really not going to eat much. I'm going to take a bite to see how it tastes. I'm going to just drink my fermented tea here. Because I'm going to drink a lot of it because I'm fasting. I'm fasting from food. The end of each week, 48 hours. Fast 2 days, no food. You'll feel way better. Just make sure you eat navy beans. Eat them navy beans, fruits, and certain vegetables, and you solid. Now, I may not have to butter up the other side. This is going to go quick. And then I'm going to slice it in half and show you how it looks on the inside. Oh, no, a little more. Yeah. Fasting cleans the system, renews the cells. Yes, it does. No food. Now in Hempstead, they're gentrifying, and it's not for us. And we've been warning everybody since 2012, really, but like the last 8 years, I've been personally warning everybody that they're gentrifying us. The Coalition of Concerned Citizens of Hempstead been warning for like 2 decades, since it was initiated in 2012. Been warning that they're building a white, yuppie college city. And now that has transformed into what? All the time. What do they have planned? A luxury sands casino. $1 billion-something investment next door. Hempstead is going to be a white, upper class as the basis. They'll have others in there. You stooges and y'all latching on to them and their latest imports to replace the professional class of Native Black Americans. But mainly it's going to be white. Those 35 luxury apartments, the studio is going to start at 3 and some change. A studio. It's going to be like the Shelby in Westbury. It's going to be like the Vanderbilt and the Meadowbrook Want across the street from the Avalon Westbury, where my mom was dislocated. She was displaced from there. They purposely evicted her. And I am with her in a 1-bedroom to help her. I'm helping her because she was evicted from a 2-bedroom going to a 1. So in order for her to get the apartment, I agreed. I'll stay with her and help her out just temporarily until we get a 2-bedroom. And that's displacement. And Stop and Shop, y'all just face the same thing. Y'all did the motives for us or what they planned, it's exactly what they're doing. It happened to y'all. You didn't listen to us. We in the board meetings. Oh, I smell that. I smell the butter. We in the board meetings. I'm gonna put a little butter on the other side. And this is where the other butter comes in. Because that oil from the oil from the cheese, just a little butter because that oil did justice. The butter, the flavor of the butter is what makes grilled cheese. The flavor of the butter. Use real butter, not margarine. Thank you, Jesus. That's soybean oil. That's why I don't use American cheese. I can turn this. Is that right? Yeah. Good. Oh, yeah, that's coming right along. Another couple of minutes. 2-3 minutes. I'm going to just take a bite out of that. Break my fast with some grilled cheese. It's not the healthiest food, but I'm going to do quick foods for these lives. You know what I'm saying? Hempstead is planned for displacement, and it is planned for us to not be here. And what's the purpose of doing this to Native Black Americans? For a century they've been planning this. Since the late 1800s, millions of us, they stole, on record, 12 million acres of our land, our farmland. Native Black people came from the South, built the country during chattel slavery. A few of us was on the outskirts and escaped, never went through slavery. Some of us, Native Black people, was all far yonder. Good for you, all praise due to Allah. But our people, we stole 12 million acres of land, robbed from us, took from us. It's more like 20 million. My family in North Carolina, blessed to still have some acreage down there. They're lucky. They're survivors. Some of us are, but most of us lost all our land. That's injustice. California, Governor Newsom, he just told Native Black people to your face. He denied us getting redress, getting compensation for our stolen land. In California, he denied us reparations. A Democrat, good white people. But he is funding migrant imports, scabs, and replacements by the millions in California. Only giving them homes, all type of jobs. They're getting jobs everywhere. They're getting citizenship, fast-track citizenship. That's because the Democrats are important replacement voters of Native Black people who are tired of that Democratic Party. Governor Newsom did that in California. Denied black landowners who've stolen our land, you cannot get compensation. But it gave compensation to Jews in Germany for their property, the descendants of Holocaust victims in Nazi Germany are getting compensated under protection of the governor. At that same time, he signed all the bills at one time, insulting us 2 weeks ago. That's why my vote is the couch right. I'm on the couch right now, but my vote may be with Trump, just to punish you. It depends on how things go. We'll see. We got a month. Y'all. We got a month. We'll see how things turn out. I don't think it changed. Devil, you could tuck your tail in, but you can't hide your colors. Your horns always, there we go. That's a nice lightly toasted. Yeah, just the way it's supposed to be. Just the way it's supposed to be. You don't have to drench this in, just cover this up. Oh boy, there it is. You don't have to drench this in butter and in oil. I use the oil from the cheese to toast one side. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just take a bite. As a matter of fact, let me slice this in half. Go off camera here, y'all, real quick. Just slice this in half. I'll put it on the bread. Yeah, there it is. There we go. There we go. Look at that grilled cheese. There it is. Grilled cheese. There it is. Oh, that's so good. I'm going to tear this out. Just take a bite. I can't eat this while I'm talking to y'all. I'll be throwing. It's crunchy. It's crispy. It's chewy. Oh my God. I'm going to just take a bite because I'm breaking my fast. I want to taste it. Right here. That's what? Got a little chop and cheese mouth on. Light and tasty. That's it. I can't touch that. That's good. That's so good. This can move out the way. Oh yeah. And look forward to more. Let me put myself in focus, y'all, so I can get to the stead. Oh damn, man, we've been in the stead. We've been on Native Black people been on Long Island since chattel slavery. New York had chattel slavery. Long Island had chattel slavery. During the night and then after emancipation, I almost want to tear into that grilled cheese. During emancipation, white farm owners would truck up in tractor trailer trucks native black people from the South in the 40s and 50s to Long Island to work on the farms for cheap labor. Yes, you know who said that, brother? Pastor Dorsey from Rockville Center. He was born in Rockville Center in the 1920s. And he said it was segregated there. And something that he pointed out to us. He's 90 something. Beautiful brother. Elder. Pastor. I did his little short documentary overview bio on my YouTube a couple of years ago. Pastor Elder Darcy, excuse me. And he was born in the 1920s in Rockville Center when it was very segregated. And under that segregation, black people were trying to buy houses in Long Island, and we were discriminated against so bad that Caribbean immigrants had come. I think he said it was the 50s, something like, could have been the 40s. Let me tell you, he didn't give the exact decade, but it just sounded like it was the 40s, the 50s, but he was saying could have been the 40s, the 50s. West Indian immigrants moved into Rockville Center, and Elder Darcy said that they would not associate with us. They delineated from us. A lot of West Indians did that. A lot of Caribbean in the early turn of the century. You have some writers come along us. We appreciate y'all, like Stokely Carmichael, my brother Kwame Ture. We've had Harry Belafonte and great brothers and sisters from the Caribbean, and some from Africa, but most from the Caribbean that have come and that have helped us. Some, but for the most part, it had a negative impact on us because these Caucasian Americans, mainly that German, that WASP, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, that Germanic Britain, are the most evilest people on the planet. They despise black people. They had fun and glee killing, murdering black people, lynching, enslaving us, making profit off us, making us dumb, deaf, and blind. The worst robbery they did to us was rob us of the knowledge of self so that we could do something for ourselves, and made us dependent on him. The most evilest people in the world, they hate black people so much. They hunted us after slavery. We left him. We knew how wicked he was. We left him. My own family down there in North Carolina. We had 2 Black Wall Streets in North Carolina, Wilmington and Durham, North Carolina. 2 Black Wall Streets, getting away from white folks. The famous Tulsa, Oklahoma Wall Street, with our black Seminoles that went over there. And that was an agreement to leave there. They were warriors that defeated the Caucasians in Florida and went into Oklahoma. Oklahoma, very pivotal, poignant place for Native Black Americans. It was raised to the town. It was a Black Wall Street, the most famous one, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And what did they do? They raised it, and they blamed a black man assaulting a white woman, or trying to have sex or rape a white woman. That was the common thread. That was a scapegoat, where they would raise our whole town. Everything, Wilmington, Durham, all our black towns. We had hundreds of them because we knew that the Caucasian Americans are no good. They're no good people. For the most part, the ones in power. You slaves and you servants and you others that come smiling in our face, like in the Democratic Party, you've done more to us than those blatant Republicans. You the ones smiling in our faces. And you deny it. Look at California, proves it. All these poor hoods, it's Democrats ruling them. You think that evil people who did that to us, who hunted us, they hunted us for glee. They fed our babies to alligators, skinned us alive, wore our skin, made accessories out of native black people's skin, body parts. They prize them, especially the black man's phallus, because the Caucasian has the fear of genetic annihilation. That man not only hates us, his hatred is a severe, intense one, where he had that fear, where he got to get you jump out the gate before you can stand up, because he fears, so he keep you down and he kill you, and he degrades you, he dehumanizes us. And what sustains the society of whiteness, how it's colorized and racialized? The devaluing of native black. A wicked people like that made Sambo images of us, made Birth of a Nation at the turn of the century, no good racist Woodrow Wilson played that movie, a Ku Klux Klan recruiting film, in the White House that spurred a lot of those raisins of black towns. We had left Caucasians because we knew how they were. That's the type of man he is. Hunted us for fun and glee. He's the only man on the planet that do that, the Caucasian in general, but him specifically in America, that Germanic one and that British one. They get a glee in torturing you. They get a glee in killing you, lynching you. They don't only lynch you, these motherfuckers partied, had picnics, brought their children. It was a carnival to lynch a black man. You think that kind of man wants people of color, immigrants coming here? They are a fifth column against Native Black Americans to keep us destabilized, to keep us nomadic, to keep us off balance. That's the way it's been going. You recently fresh immigrants, even immigrants, your imports, they select who they bring in. These CIA and these diabolical ones, they undermine your country. Where you coming from, they do it. America does it. These Caucasians do it. They undermine your country, destabilize it, and then you come running, fleeing into their arms. What do you think their purpose is for that? If they were that evil to us for 400 years, then all of a sudden, you think he's going to be friendly to you? And then you sort of get to like, I agree with it. You know, I'm going to keep my distance from the native blacks. I'm going to keep my distance from the niggas. But I agree that you'll treat me better. You understand the assignment. You're not here to help us. You're here to help yourself. You're opportunists. And how is this opportunity made possible? The plundering of native black people during chattel slavery. America is a mountain of gold. We built, it has gold, all that talent, our inventions, our brilliance, and everything. Everything. We outdo the Caucasian in everything except sinisterness and diabolicalness and connivingness. He's a master of that. So you think you coming into this as some good, you think it's noble? There's nothing noble and honorable about you coming into this country. The Caucasian, he's the most, and he's unatoned, he's unrepentant. And he's not atoned for it, and he's unrepentant. He refuses to do reparations. And you don't support reparations. What do? These immigrant types, well, imports that are scabs and replacements. Scabs is when the unions are fighting for, which were initially based against Native black people, the unions, they're racist. The unions will say, give workers a better pay. And if you don't, we're going to strike. Look at the port. That's what happened at the port. The port strikers, they wanted better wages, better benefits. So when they say, well, we won't work, we'll strike, we'll boycott, we'll strike, we won't work. And to disrupt things until you give us more pay. Who is the greedy CEOs that won't pay us? You see, that's the oligarchs. So what happens? When those oligarchs, those CEOs, they get replacement labor. They get cheap, they get new people who don't know really what's going on. They don't care. They get opportunities to come in and say, sneak in the back door, come in here. Instead of me giving them $20 an hour, I'll give you $5 an hour. And here you are working. That's called a scab. You know what a scab is. You have an injury. And your body produced something to heal, and it's unattractive, and it's sitting there on a wound. It's the result, reaction of a wound that's been done to your body. And that what's been done to our body is the plundering of us, of trillions of dollars for hundreds of years. So please, don't even come with any type of argument about some opportunity, then flipping it around and gaslighting us, blaming us. Go look at an immigrant that would have this discussion with us. It's like they almost pulling out a whip. Shut up, nigga. Pow, shut up, be quiet. They despise our voice. Do you know why? Our voice and our intellect and our genius and our talent, it manifests our value that they do not have. We're the most talented people on the planet, the most industrious. We have endured the most. We have an entire system, the most powerful nation on the planet, the superpower, the apex, the white supremacists on the planet that targeted us for hundreds of years. They targeted us and they shaped us in the worst image, and we come out of it with the best image, being ourselves. So how do you control that? How do you keep that down? You degrade it. You put out books. You put out movies. You go into the education system. You lie and say that Columbus discovered America. In other words, you wasn't doing nothing about discovering it. Native black people was here. You see that how that's happening? And it's a boiling point right in Hempstead. Hempstead is the epicenter. Hempstead is ground zero for the continued displacement and replacement of Native black people. They've done it to us, and they're going to continue. We are the focus. This nation, American white supremacy, centers around us. We are the focal point of this nation. It's all about us. Native black people, those of us that built the country. So we came up to Hempstead in the 50s, mainly the 60s. Right, mainly the 60s, thousands of us. We had established Hempstead. We were establishing ourselves. Hempstead, Roosevelt, other parts of Long Island. Many went into New York City, Brooklyn, Harlem, and the Bronx. And as a step up into the suburbs, which were racially defined anyway, under Levittown had racist contracts in the deeds, stipulations in the deed. Don't sell them to the black people. Robert Moses, a developer, like an architect. He was mainly a developer. Built the parkways that were designed for city folks in some Long Island to go out and enjoy the parks and the beaches of Long Island. That cracker purposely built the nice bridges. The architecture is nice. Those bridges under the Southern State Parkway, Northern State Parkway, are built low. They're built low. You know why? So that buses cannot ride through the parkway. And who was riding the buses back when these parkways were built? Black people. We are the focus. They focus on us. It's in the structures, in the engineering, the parkways, how they built them, the train tracks. They built physical barriers. Lakes, waterways, even everything. They put physical barriers up. They won't say it, but we were the only people in this country, specifically red line. And this is the red line that's continuing to this day, and it's right in Hempstead. What happened in Hempstead? They devitalized Hempstead. They sat up there and went and created an IDA board, Industrial Development Agency, saying, you know what? If businesses come into it, they devitalized us. They didn't put any money in Hempstead. They said, all the black people here, so let's let it go down. Hempstead was a shopping mecca in the 50s. A lot of white folks, some Jews, and others, some black people. It was a booming town in the 50s. Hempstead was a shopping mecca. It's the hub of Nassau County. It's the center of transit. Why all these luxury buildings are going up near the Long Island Railroad and the bus station. They tried to get rid of the bus station. They wanted to put it in Uniondale. But they stopped because they're building a casino there, a high-class casino, because they want Hempstead to be a white college casino city. They wanted to be a city where they control the schools and everything. Because we've hindered them for 10 years doing this. You may not know this. They plan to even knock down Stop and Shop, and they still do. That whole area, they can do what they want now, because that MDA has been removed. That was the Master Development Agreement with Don Monte, Renaissance, and RXR, Scott Reckler, over in Uniondale. He's a gentrifier. And Harlem and Brooklyn, they already gentrified Harlem and Brooklyn. They're the same people, the same investors, the internationalists, the oligarchs. They hate us. And you cooperate with them. They accomplish it because you're naive. You don't have any goddamn sense. You can't see their plans. We know their plans, and Allah plans, and He's the best of planners. They devitalized Hempstead. They gave your property tax money to apartment owners. They said, you know what, you have an apartment? Well, you're in Hempstead, so here's a tax break. The Hempstead homeowners and property tax and school taxpayers will foot your bill. They will subsidize you because you're coming into Hempstead with a business. And that business will stimulate the economy and create jobs. It's job creation. Oh, jobs. How many jobs are in an apartment? Three to like 5, depending on the apartment. An average small apartment in Hempstead, 3 jobs. 2 janitors and a management person. The bigger the apartment, the more maintenance, the more management staff. Most of these people don't even live in Hempstead. And they put like one person from Hempstead there. And yet they give that apartment owner all these tax breaks, giving him all the Hempstead money. He doesn't live in Hempstead. He's taking all his money and he's putting it back in his community. And that is devitalization. And all the while, your infrastructure is going down. This is devitalization. It's the potholes in the street. Just everything becomes ghetto. It becomes low income. It becomes desperate. People don't have jobs because they purposely engineered the devitalization so that in order from the problem that they created, they could come along and say, look at us. We're the good, happy, good people. We are the revitalizers. We are the developers. We're going to put a new face on Hempstead. We're the new people, new things. It's the same devils. They took your money out of the community, devitalized it. Now they say, we're going to revitalize it. And what is revitalization? They have displaced you. And that displacement, you paying somebody else taxes, you can't afford your rent and your mortgage. That's why many of you lost your houses. Thousands have been displaced. Native black people in America, by the thousands, have been displaced. Hempstead was mainly black in the 70s. As a child on 55 Grove, Hempstead was mainly black. Whites were over in the corner, over in the peripheral, over at the West Hempstead border, where Wayland Hobbs lived. And Wayland Hobbs, you intimidating some of my people in Hempstead. If you continue down that path, my next live is going to be on your front lawn. And I'll be knocking on your goddamn door. You leave my people alone, else I'm going to deal with you. So we have lost our homes and businesses. Hempstead had a whole bunch of businesses on Union. I was growing up in the 80s. I was wilding in the streets, but all them businesses was black. Mr. Edwards, the cleaners, that was the Muslim cleaners. Reverend Romeo had the salon, the Greasy Spoon. Mrs., what's her name, Susie, I believe, had the little candy store. They had a bar there too, and other negative things, but they were businesses. Jean's Barbershop. We had Billy Barbershop. We had barbershops, and even them bars, they were black owned. The Scorpio Lounge, Gladys Den, they're negative. To me, they're negative environments because we don't really be drinking. But I get us, my peoples came up in there. Earl Hightower was my stepfather. He was in the Post. The Post had it popping in the 70s. The Post, I think it was two of them. No, the one on the Heights is legendary. It's gone now. Devitalized. We had all these businesses. Why? Because the money was staying with us. They started taking our tax. And when a person owns a house, and even if they live outside of Hempstead and you renting a house, if you paying a wealthy apartment owner's taxes and they go into another neighborhood, what you gonna do? You ain't paying the tax. You gonna get your tenants. You gonna raise their rent. So that runs you out. So now you don't have money to invest. Now you don't have money for infrastructure, and that is devitalization. And it gets worse. It's all it's worse with the schools, with everything. And while they're doing that, what were they doing in the 80s? They were bringing in imports. They were bringing in imports from Central and South America into Hempstead by the thousands. That took a slow process. They got over on us with that because they did it in a timely fact. They did it over. They phased it in. So you don't, when a frog is, if I had a pot right now with some cold water, I dumped the frog in there, he would be in cold water. And I took that flame and I turned it up hot, put some hot water, and then threw the frog in that, it would jump out. But if the frog is in the room temperature water, and he's relaxing, nice and comfy, and I take the heat up slowly, progressively, it'll cook him. It'll cook him in a squat before he can jump out. And that's just what has happened to us. We've been cooked. Harder than that double grilled cheese sandwich, partner. Almost finished my tea. Almost finished my tea. So this is where we at. It's all orchestrated and it's racist as hell. And the target is Native black people. It's the key. It's very simple. If you're an economist, you're in the civics, and a goddamn civil engineering, you understand that in economics that are people that paying somebody else's taxes, naturally you're not going to have to invest for emergency, family emergency, investment, doing your own business. You can't do it. You're relying on others. And these banks and everybody, they bless others. They target others. We were redline. We were the only people in this nation redline. So shut the fuck up if you're talking about anybody else could just get loans and stuff. We were redline. Redline mean everything. That not only was your mortgage, that was for businesses. Go get the TikTok this sister, Asian sister, Amy Chin. She describes how Koreans and Asians and Arabs are specifically blessed and graced with loans to open up business in poor black neighborhoods. That's why you see so many of those businesses in our neighborhoods. You wonder, why don't we have ours there? Because it's all orchestrated. But these people are smiling in your face while they're stabbing you in your back. And the Hempstead, this has happened. We've been displaced by the thousands. Paying wealthy, and it's mainly apartments, some car dealerships had them tax breaks to employ local people in Hempstead. They don't. They just bring them in and they tell them, oh, your job creation. That's not for Hempstead. That's just what happened in Stop and Shop. Stop and Shop is an example. The commonplace on Bedell and Main Street and one across the street. Those two apartment buildings they're building are a farce. They're a Trojan horse. They're affordable housing. The lower income, oh, it's for veterans. One of them is for veterans, one of them is low income. This is how it's going to be. Hell no, it ain't going to be like that. Not no Sands Casino, College City White. That is the bottom of it. That's the bottom tier. That top tier is luxury apartments. You won't even be able to walk around the area if you don't live there. You just have electric vehicles going through there. The downtown, Main Street by the court, they're going to knock down the court too. Because you ain't going to be there. Why would they have a court in the middle of their town and they ain't locking you up? You won't be here. They plan on knocking that down. Those luxury apartments are planned for the gentry. But they put in your face, oh, this is good for you. There were 2 homes on Bedell. I've covered this. Carmen Place and Estella Apartments last year, 2 years ago, 2 years ago. They raised those 2 houses full of Latino families. Multiple families were there. They were not just on record, no 2-family house. There were a whole bunch of them in there, piled up, displaced. And the thing was, my argument is they will not be able to live in the new apartment house. They are not prioritized. The businesses that closed, that strip mall next to it, these people will not be the new business. One business they tricked into saying they'll be there. Most of the businesses will not be there because they can't pay the rent and they don't plan for them being there. They have well planned this decades ago. Stop Shop. I put it on Brother Jeff Spencer's page. He put a comment on his Facebook. He said, well, I guess none of the Hempstead applied for, or the Hempstead Stop and Shop former employees too applied for jobs at the Food Bazaar. And the Food Bazaar has moved in and they hired no Hempstead Stop and Shop employees that were unemployed because of that replacement. Luckily, those employees were going to other Stop and Shops. And one of the reasons, and many of them black from Hempstead, good brothers and sisters, you've gone through Stop Shop. And they replaced them with Hempstead employees that they trained over in the Westbury store. But what did they do? These are low-paid employees, many of them Latino. This is exactly what they got for you. Now, they're putting them in there now. That's the lower end of the economy. The higher end, you ain't nowhere then. You're a fucking fool if you believe you have a high place in a white college casino city. You sellouts, you have sub-positions. You get on my goddamn nerve, you shills and stooges. Your day is coming. Native black cultural nationalism is going to give you your reward. Food Bazaar hired and trained these lower paying positions that of Latino workers. Why? Because they take the lower pay. They're happy to pay the lower one. But what about those black Stop and Shop employees, many who live in Hempstead? You see how this works? Now you got to go out of town to work. What's next? After more of this displacement, more of this replacement, you won't be in Hempstead. Hempstead won't be attractive to you because your rent is going to go up. You're going to lose your houses. And our business has been gone. And Waylon Hobbs, they've been planning this for a while. It's not Waylon Hobbs. He's a stooge. He's a crash dummy. Half the time he drunk. Don't know what the hell he's talking about anyway. They've been shut. Waylon Hobbs been specifically targeting businesses in Hempstead to make himself look noble. That's an evil deed. And you in the lodge, brother. You're a Mason. You're a bishop. He was targeting businesses like auto shops and those Latina delis with the casinos in the back, and other stores who were selling like these off products to shut them down. And it was not because he's noble and he cares about that, because he don't give a shit about you. He don't give a damn about poor people, common people. He feel you like roaches, where he spray you with roach spray to get your ass out of his face. He was shutting down those businesses as a gentrification, to get rid of the businesses, to make it easier for the developers to buy those buildings. Instead of doing eminent domain, which is harsh, and you take it because the development is greater than your housing or your little small business, that they believe that's their claim. The same ones they did it, I think, in, what was that, Gravy's Point over there? The same developer, RXR, did that, eminent domain. That Italian man didn't want to sell his business. They did eminent domain. Maybe they forced a payment, whatever like that. They paid those families to leave their house. But you ain't back in Hempstead in the new, which is supposed to be revitalization. Revitalization means, oh, this place is raggedy. I make it new. Look at this new place for you. That's a fucking scam. It is not for you. You a fool to believe that. And many of you fools. Gaslight. We get gaslighters come up to us. Oh, well, y'all ain't doing nothing anyway. Gaslighting us, man. That shit is incredible. You need your ass whooped. Gaslighting us. You're lazy. You need to do more. Do for yourself. You're expecting people to come up from unemployment to miraculously become entrepreneurs, become self-sustaining, become national. I'm a nationalist. God damn it, it's hard work. That's all I do. Is strive to build coalitions and build businesses to get self-improvement, to get our people off drugs, get into their own businesses, to get out of working for corporations, because they're just exploitive plantations anyway. Well, anyway, this is what's been going on. Stop and Shop employees do not have justice. We're negotiating for them to get salaries, to get back employed at the food bazaar at their previous salaries. That was the gimmick. Or we're not going to pay you more, so you get your new people in. That ain't going to work. This cannot happen. We're in negotiations there. That's the update. We're Stop and Shop. But this cannot continue. This can't go on. And then, after you get replaced, and we are scattered about, and the few of us who are remaining in Hempstead, they just gonna gobble it up and take it. Because that's what they're planning. That's why they're shutting down all these businesses. The Supreme Auto on Bedell. And he does Hempstead police cars. He actually, I think, works on Hempstead police cars. And this son of a bitch, Hobbs, targets him for like $7,000 with fines. And now you targeted my people for personal attack, just like you did Shelley Brazeley. She's opposed you, and you went and you sent an inspector to her house and gave her a violation code. You were wrong as hell for that. Matter of fact, let me mention something. I got to go in a few, y'all. What is it, 9:30? I'm closing out in a couple of minutes. Shelley Brazeley, I said that no Hempstead Village board members, no school board members have stood up against the gentrification projects in Hempstead, the devitalization. And I did mention that, with the exceptions of Don Ryan and Dorothy Gooseby, who challenged aspects of those pilots. And I think there was Erling Hooper, who developed the Hempstead board that would be a part of the IDA that would approve these pilots, which was Hobbs took over anyway. Hobbs appointed his people and approved all the damn. Lamont Johnson was on there. Joy forgot her last name. All of his stooges were there. All of them. They're sellouts. Because their masters hate us and they fear us. And you know why they get away with it? Because we trust this system. Some of us, too many of us still, to where this is a civics seen beyond reach to us. No, this is what's happening to you. If you don't take control of your civics, you keep relying on others to do your civics. This is how you happen. People gaslighting us. Oh, you're letting other people do this for you? Yeah, let's take charge of our civics. Yeah, that kind of hurt now. Now you don't have nothing to say now. When we start talking about taking charge of our civics, taking charge of our school board, start dealing with how the money comes in and out of Hempstead. That's what we're going to do. We must change this around. No more. It's a new day. Party time is over. Playtime is over. The party's over. We claiming our own. We got to open cultivation centers, train our people, to employ our people. That school curriculum is giving us inferiority complex. It's got to be changed. Most of us not even in the public school. Did you know that 80% of the Hempstead students for decades, or for maybe 2 decades, have been Latina, immigrant Latinas, Central South America. Waylon Hobbs is on a board. He went to South America, making promises to them. We go to the board, do something for Native Black Americans. That's racist. He accused me of that, when it's not. In fact, we have the biggest claim we can make because it's lineage. Native Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, ADOS, American descendants of slavery, under chattel slavery, who built the country. We have the biggest claim we can make in this country. We built the country and received nothing but the worst treatment of any people in the annals of history. That's what we got in return for it. Our claim is lineage-based. But you project it as race because that's what a lot of these tethers are coming. Black immigrants are coming over claiming race. I'm African American. I'm Black American. This is why we are delineating to distinguish ourselves so that we can make appropriate claims, so that we could it's for accounting. And that accounting is serious because look who gets the bottom of everything. They put us in these coalitions, the Black-Brown Coalition. They put us in the People of Color Coalition, the minority coalitions. That's for everybody. And then we all supposed to work together against white supremacy and racism, And then black people expect the most out of the pool. And what do you get? The bottom scrapes. You get what you got now. You get exactly what you got now. Devitalized hoods waiting to be gentrified and revitalized for others to come over you, replacements in the gentry. It's been like that. That's the way it is. It happened in Harlem. It happened in Brooklyn. It's the same people. They're coming into Hempstead. They're doing the same thing. It's the same MO. It happens to every black neighborhood across this country. They've been doing it for 100 years. But they've really been stepping it up the last couple of decades. This is why men like me with this voice that's pointing this out is a threat to them. This is why you see them behind the scenes undermining us, doing as much dirty work as they can. And you shills and you stooges that come in our faces. The day is changing for you. You do not fear us. You fear them. That day is changing. You're going to do justice by us. You're going to do fair by us. We have to take control of our civics, take control of our economy. We have to take control of it. They literally have us paying tribute, paying other people taxes. If you come into Hempstead, you pay an extra tax. These immigrants pay an extra tax to our community. These outside businesses, you don't live in Hempstead, you pay an extra tax. It's been the opposite way around. That's devitalization. It's all a sick game. And we the target. And it's not going to change until we change. We got to make some changes. And it's not self-careers. It's not selfish means. It's not personal development. It's not. It's collective. Because we are collectively targeted, but personally gaslit. So we're bringing justice to the employees, Stop and Shop, and all the rest of that's going to happen to you. You're going to start losing your homes. We warned you. 2021. That they plan for Stop and Shop to go. To be that whole entire, the MDA and that other development plan in the Brownsfield study about toxins in the soil and stuff. And they specifically went to little small areas. But the overall area is a 300-acre downtown that goes from nearly the high school, 303 Main Street, back towards Terrace, over to the U-Haul. That's the downtown that they're starting with. And what you're seeing is a sample of how it's going to be. So I don't think it's going to be anything other than that. And we have to address that. We got to take it to them. Come in the Village Hall. Let's come to the protests. Come to our meetings. I'll be having meetings with Bradley Hinton very soon. Come to the meeting. Stay tuned. We'll be posting the meeting places. Come in so that we could change this. And any deals that's made to put in our favor resources towards us. They don't do it because you trust these people, rely on these people. You're so scared of Trump. These Democrats have you scared, oh, Trump is going to be the worst thing. They're doing it to you now. These are Democrats in Hempstead. And the Republicans are just doing it. They're taking turns on us. Matter of fact, Democrats have done more to us than Republicans. Joe Biden, racist ass Joe Biden, and the Clintons did that crime bill in California with that stooge sellout Congressional Black Caucus. They undermined us in California just now with the reparations bill, mocking us. He laughed at it. He mocked at us. He mocked us. Democrats, that crime bill broke thousands of black families, imprisoned thousands of black men. The Rockefeller laws in New York. All of this was done against us. But that crime bill by Biden and the Clintons, later on, who was one of the prosecutors that was using it? Kamala Harris. She was using that bill against us. That's all they do. And then not only that, she's laughing at people. After she scared up families, this is evil as hell. This immigrant, this damn Indian woman with hints of Jamaican blackness, if it is anyway, she's mainly white in Jamaica. The anti-native black Candace Owens, she's coming out banging on Kamala, going into her history, how the Jamaican side of her family is white slave masters. And one of them was even persecuting Rastafarians, cutting off their dread, murdering them. See, that's in them and that's in her. That's why she could go to black mothers, send them letters with handcuffs on the letterhead, saying, send your children to school or else I'm going to lock them up. And then she did that evil cackle. She cackled over saying that to black mothers whose children are truant from the educational system because it's a miseducation of white supremacy that teach you to rely on the system, to allow planners and developers to do for you what you could do for yourself. Hempstead, the schooling, is miseducation. And what do? If you miss school, they punish you. They say, you're gonna lock you up if you don't let us miseducate you. That's the way some of the native Indian schools were. And some of the native children didn't cut their luscious long hair and put on them European uniforms, they would punish them severely. They were indoctrinating them. The American public educational system is a miseducation. It's indoctrination into being service to corporations or greedy CEOs, oligarchs use you for cheap labor. And they expend all your energy towards building their wealth by giving you pennies. And Hempstead is a model. Hempstead is where it's happening. You're looking at it live. And next week, I'll be advancing that and I'll be going further into it. And I'll be proving my points. We have the data. We have the documents. They've been on planning, demolishing Hempstead to bring in a new gentry of high upscale apartments and shopping where you will not be welcome. Okay, let me get some questions here. Let me see the comments here. All right. You think Trump is better? Well, Trump didn't do worse, brother. I wouldn't, my point is Trump, how many people have Trump locked up? They both got to go. I'm not voting for either one. Right now I'm on the couch. But if nothing else comes up with reparations or anything better, I'm voting for Trump to punish the Democrats because the Democrats are doing us worse. Trump don't support reparations, but let me sit down so I can read this. Trump doesn't support reparations. He's against it, but the Democrats are feigning like they are. We're going to give you a study. They asked him, Kamala Harris told us straight to our face, I'm not going to do nothing for you. Governor Newsom, a Democrat, over in California, that crime bill was in California. That crime bill broke up thousands of families. Where have Trump broke up thousands of families, putting them in, locking them up in jail? Trump working through I think it was Kim Kardashian, release black people from jail. He focused on famous ones, but he let them out of jail. He did the exact opposite. So no, and what did he do? Discriminate against people in his apartments back in the 70s, I think it was. That's what he did. But his what he did against us does not weigh against what they have done. Trump hate poor people, and he tell you he hate poor people. Neither one of them is better, but the Democrats have done way more damage. They have ruined thousands of lives. Them crack cocaine laws, where if you have crack, they give you, you're locked away for life. But if you have the equal amount of cocaine, they let the white folks go who have the cocaine. Democrats did that. I'm not saying really one is either better or worse. Both of them got to go. Both of them represent the oligarchy. It's just that Trump is a maverick. He's bucking them. That's why they tried to assassinate him. The oligarchy set up the Democrats. Black Democrats. Who was that? What, the black prosecutors that prosecuted, who was that? Alvin Bragg. And the other, what's her sister? Finn. And some other, and Letitia James, I believe it was, to prosecute Trump. They prosecuted him. That way it would look like black people were doing it. If we would be tagged as prosecuting Trump, all them black prosecutors. And then they tried to assassinate him. The oligarchs did that. The Secret Service held down in Pennsylvania. They stood down and watched that man and watched that boy take a shots at Trump, and hit him in the ear. That was because they were going to assassinate him so that when the militias come for a race civil wars, they would target black people instead of the oligarchy. So, no, Trump is no good. But Trump tell us he don't like us. That's my point. I don't even think they would be. But thank you for the question, my brother Rasheen. You're a good brother, man. You support my family. You came to defend my mother. And I honor you for that. That's right. You're a good brother. I chose her over Trump any day. I choose neither one. Well, good for you, brother. Good for you, because regardless to either one of them who wins this election, the American people lose. The oligarchy wins. All right, my good brother. Let's see any other questions. Okay. But the election is a fraud in itself, man. And you see how that deep state operates. They get their way and they manipulate and they make one look better than the other. But they're not. They're both the same. They're the oligarchy. They don't like us. They don't like poor people. And the target is Native Black people. So next week I'm going to expand on that, on the gentrification of Hempstead, going into detail, man. How it's just not for us and the consequences and how we got to team up to stop it. We still have a chance. Why you think they got rid of, one more mention, I mentioned Sister Shelley Brazeley, how she stood up against that gentrification. And also Randy Stiff, Brother Randy made some points, but for the most part, he had upheld that Hempstead schooling system that is miseducation. We know how to educate our babies with the knowledge itself to make them great. And when we do, they undermine us. When we bring programs to them, saying, look, school them in entrepreneurialism with community value, like our brother Dr. Claude Anderson with Powernomics, and the program of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad Do For Self with Minister Farrakhan. They do not implement them. Why? Because they're against us. It's a collective. So we're going to do better because we're doing for ourselves. Look, family, it's a pleasure cooking with you. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy this grilled cheese, the double grilled cheese. And next week, I'll update you on everything else because we're still in negotiations to make this better. And only we can do it, family. Now, family, I'll leave you as I greeted you in the ancient Arabic words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. Peace unto you. Enjoy the rest of the Sunday evening. I hope your weekend is well. Peace.